Hi, my name is Ben Rhodes. I'm the Deputy National Security Advisor for Communications and Speechwriting here at the White House. Tomorrow we'll be leaving on the first presidential trip to Asia since President Obama took office. He obviously has a strong tie to the region. He grew up for a time in Indonesia, traveled around the region as a child with his mother and stepfather. But this is still his first time visiting some of these countries. We'll begin in Tokyo, then we'll move on to Singapore. Then the President will be taking his first trip to China. He'll stop in Shanghai and then move on to Beijing. And then lastly, we'll go to Seoul, South Korea to conclude the trip. Asia is obviously a very important part of the world for the United States. We are an Asia-Pacific country. President Obama is the first president to be born in the Pacific region as well. We also have an incredibly important economic relationship. They're the fastest growing economic region in the world. We have a huge trade relationship with them. Many U.S. jobs are tied to our exports to Asia, and we'd actually like to see more jobs created here at home through our exports to Asia, and that will be one of the key subjects of conversation that the President will be pursuing throughout this trip. We also will be looking at issues related to non-proliferation. Nuclear weapons are obviously a key priority for the President, and we'll be talking to countries throughout the trip on how to stop the spread of nuclear weapons to nations like North Korea and Iran. The President will be meeting with, for instance, the President of Russia, as well as the President of China on these issues. And then lastly, energy and climate change I think will be particularly important on this trip. We have strong energy partnerships with some of these countries and are looking to strengthen them, both in terms of our development of clean energy technologies, but also preparing for the summit on climate change in Copenhagen, which is just around the corner. So the President will be discussing energy and climate change throughout the trip. The other stop that we're going to be able to make, which is particularly exciting, is the President has never been to Alaska before. He's been to 49 states, never set foot on the soil of the 50th state, Alaska. We'll be stopping there on our way to Japan. We'll make a stop in Elmendorf Air Force Base in Alaska, where the President will have the opportunity to thank our troops there. He'll also have an opportunity to meet with troops on the back end in Seoul. U.S. obviously has a large military presence in that country as well. So we're all looking forward to being in Alaska. It's going to be particularly cold in Alaska. In fact, this trip will have the widest range of temperatures of the places we visited because we expect to be in the 20s in Alaska and up in the 90s in Singapore, so we're all dressing appropriately. As we travel, we're going to check back with you all every day, I think. We're going to try to get somebody, either myself or somebody else, to take a peek behind the curtain at what a presidential trip like this is like and discuss some of the issues that the President's focused on. Some days it'll be me, some days it'll be somebody else. We all are very much looking forward to being in these countries, some of us for the first time. Unfortunately, as you'll see when you're on these trips, a lot of it's spent on Air Force One and motorcades at hotels and staff rooms, so we don't get out to see the sights quite as much as we'd like. Of course, it's still a very exciting chance to visit a number of very different and interesting places. So we'll be looking forward to sharing that with you in the days ahead, and we'll be checking in. See you soon. Bye.